Hey everybody, how you doing today? I am excited. I'm excited because we are finally getting our music streams back up and running. Things are a little bit jerky right now because I am recording this in 1080p because not only am I streaming this live on Twitch, but I'm also going to record and edit and put it out on YouTube. So hi everybody on YouTube as well. But that is putting a little bit of stress on my encoder, more so than I had anticipated. And looking at this, I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to be able to do this as well as I thought. I had hoped that I would be able to handle this. Hold on, let me check a few things. Deku, how you doing? So this stream is about music creation. We're going to be working on a fun cover. Foxtail, how you doing? Hoping you're having an amazing new Wednesday. Hi everyone, hoping everyone is safe and having a great day. Thank you so much. I am having a great day. I'm just going to try and get this fixed so that we can enjoy our stream here. Of course, you know how it is. Just gotta get through technical difficulties. We're gonna get this all figured out eventually. We will. It's just a matter of working on it until we get everything figured out, get all the kinks worked out. You know what? Let me try adjusting a few settings here and see if we can't get this a little bit more usable. Might have to drop the recording down to 720. Really don't want to, but it might actually take doing that. Actually, you know what it is going to take? I know what it's going to take. I didn't want to do it this way, but you know what? It makes sense to do it this way. Let's go ahead and cut you off. And then that should greatly reduce the strain. Okay, it's going down. Okay, not as low as I wanted, but acceptable levels, I think. Let me get... now, where did that put my... You're up there. Okay, so we need to get you down here. And okay, that's looking a little bit better. That's looking much better. Okay, I'm just gonna have to do that from now on, and then I can look down here for the chat instead of right there, which is where I like. But that's okay. You know what? We find creative solutions to everything we do. So hey, Neo, how you doing? Good to see ya. Been a little while. Fighter Pass Volume 2 is on eShop now. Good indication that not only will we be getting a direct, but it might also announce a new character for Smash. That would be fantastic. That would be super fantastic if we can get that. Still getting that overload message. It might be too much to ask to record this in 1080, which is a shame. It's a big shame. Dang, we gotta figure this out. But well, let's just see what happens. Let's just record this. We'll see what happens, and we're gonna move forward regardless, no matter what happens. So anyway, oh man, that. So I'm getting that overload message every once in a while, and I thought that unplugging that monitor would fix it, but. I guess it's too much to ask to stream and record at the same time. Of course, I could just stream it in 1080 and download the stream, but I don't think that's wise. Let's just see how this works. It'll be a good test. It'll be a good test, and then we'll make adjustments on down the road if needed. Okay, so guys. How you doing today? We are going to make some music. We are going to make a cover of one of my absolute favorite Final Fantasy songs, which is Terra's theme from Final Fantasy VI. Let's go ahead and get over here to our workstation. I work in Logic Pro on a Mac. So this is what my workstation looks like here. Make sure everything's good there. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so this song has a really awesome melody. Now, this song is recorded in, recorded. The song was written in the key of G sharp minor. So it sounds like this. But I'm going to bump it up a half step to A minor because it's a lot easier to play. And I'm not a maestro on the keyboards. I know enough to get by, but we're just going to make it easier on ourselves so that I'm not fumbling around all the time. So we are going to bump it up to a little different, but much, much easier to play, much easier to write in. And at the end of all this, we can actually take the whole thing, transpose it back down to G sharp minor if we want to do that. Once I saw the workstation, my brain exploded. Okay. First, I'm going to label this piano. It's wise to label everything. So I'm just going to throw the piano roll up here just so you can see kind of what I'm doing as I work. So here is, if you never heard it, this is what the song sounds like. It has a really neat bass line, something like that. But I'm not going to try and do that. I'm just going to play quarter notes on the bass as we play through this just right now. So the song sounds something like this. Beautiful, beautiful melody. It repeats that, and then Uematsu does something really cool. He takes that phrase that he just established, and he turns it around. And so you get this. Then back to the beginning. There we go. And then, after that, we move on to our B section, which is really cool. He establishes a very simple motif and then moves it up the scale, like so. Sorry, let's try that again. Get the chords right. In fact, I'll even go. Let's play it like that. Up. Then going up again. What's that? Goes to F, that's right, yeah. Then right back to the beginning. So that is Terra's theme from Final Fantasy VI, and let's see what we can do with this. That is beautiful. It sounds perfect, just classy and soothing music. So awesome what music can do in everyday life. Yeah, it really is. It really is awesome. That's why music is my life. All right, let's see what we can do here. So, first of all, I need to actually save this. So let's get that done really quickly. Save that in game covers. There we go. Okay. Important to save. Always save. Okay, let us now see what we can do with this beautiful piece of music. I'm thinking of starting on the piano. So let's just play. First of all, let me figure out what tempo we want to do. I've got an app called Cadenza, which I use to establish my tempo. And what I can do is tap the tempo in that I want, and it will tell me what that tempo is. So, dun, 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 dun. So we're looking at tempo of around 70 beats per second. Or 70 beats per minute, sorry, 70 beats per second, that would be extremely fast. So 70 beats per minute, so let's put our 70 in right here. And that will set up our metronome. Let's lay down our melody on the piano, and then we'll see what else we want to do with it. Okay, so there we go. We have our basic melody there. Let's go ahead and just quantize that. 16th note should do it. Okay, sounds good. So, let's see. This is there's a game called Ski Sniper on the eShop where you shoot a skier in midair and get points for how cool it looks. It's only $3.99 right now, and you're getting it now. That definitely sounds like an interesting game. Okay. I think I might just keep this all on the piano. I thought about bringing in strings, but I might bring in strings later. Let's just or we could take it up. Oh, I like that, yeah. Okay, well, let's make this piano right, and then we shall do a piano left, because I'm not the best at playing hands together all the time. Besides, this allows you, you lay down your melody, and you lay down your chords afterwards. Gives you a chance to, think about things. Okay. So we're going to be really careful, really light with this. We want a nice light beginning. You know what? I changed my mind. Let us take this here, our melody. We're going to highlight everything, and we're going to bring it up an octave. Right there. Also going to bring down the velocity just a little bit, so it's a little bit lighter. Let us put our phone into do not disturb so we have no buzzing. Okay. And then we're going to do... Yes, that's going to sound really lovely. Okay, let's try that. One more time here. I like that. I think that's a really nice way to open this piece. Just that nice, soft piano. I'm not rushing things. Plenty of time for a little bit of air in there. Real simple. Some of the best things are simple. Simplicity is a great tool. Something I've had to learn personally. Don't overcomplicate things. Okay, now let us add our next instrument. I want to go with a woodwind. I don't know what yet. So let's see. Let's see what tools we have available to us. Okay, let's pull up woodwinds here. If I can find you. Hollywood, orchestral woodwinds, there we go, okay. And I use East-West Quantum Leap Composer Cloud. Those are the samples that I use. I'd love some more sample libraries, but budget constraints as they are, this is all I can afford at the current time. Now, of course, it's tempting to go with a flute. It's really tempting to go with a flute right now because that's what the original sounded like it was composed upon. But I thought about doing an oboe, but you know what? Let's hear it on a clarinet. Let's see what this sounds like on a clarinet. I don't know if I'm sold on that. Yeah, no. You know what? I was really, really tempted coming into this to give it to the oboe. So... You know, we might just end up keeping it with the flute. It works so well with the flute. It really does. So flute might be the best way to go. That accent's way too hard. definitely liking the flute there. Not sure if I'm liking this specific flute. Let me go down to symphonic orchestra. Let me try their flute. Because I'm actually a fan of symphonics flutes, or their woodwinds in general. Hollywood's flute or woodwinds, yeah, I don't know. I've been having a hard time getting used to them, but I've always been, I've always really liked the woodwinds in symphonic orchestra. Maybe a solo flute. Lyrical. Let's try that. You know what? I'm actually liking what I heard in Hollywood better. You know, sometimes this is one of the hardest parts about orchestration is figuring out your instrumentation. And especially when you're dealing with digital music creation, different samples, different sample libraries, figuring out which sample. Try an automaton. Could you imagine doing this on an automaton? If I had an automaton, I would. I really would. But sadly, I have no such instrument. Let me go back to Hollywood. Hollywood or woodwinds. There we go. There's a legato right here. I don't think Let's try this one right here. Yeah. I think one of the issues I'm having right now is the fact that the Hollywood samples are not. Let me just bring you down here for now. The Hollywood samples are drier than the symphonic. So let us go ahead and add a reverb to this. Send you over to bus 1. Label that reverb. There we go. And we will add our reverb to that. I use east-west spaces. It's a reverb specifically made for these samples, so it makes sense to go ahead and use those. They have a number of concert halls and recording studios you can choose. I want something light, so let's go into a studio. This one should work just fine for our purposes. Bring the dry already down, or bring the dry down since we are putting this out in a send, so the dry is already present, so there's no need to have the dry represented again. We just need the wet up, and let's make sure that we actually turn the sends up on these three. I'll just take it up to 0. There we go. May have come back a little bit, but that's not that much of a problem. What's your crazy sounding instrument you have? I just want to hear it really quickly. I don't know, but I really don't want to stop what I'm doing right now to divert to that. Yeah, already hearing that difference. Let me turn that reverb off. You hear that? That's the reverb right there. So my headphones are kind of getting a little annoying today. I really need to get new headphones. I had these headphones for about 7 years. I think I've had these headphones for about 7 years now. Great headphones, don't get me wrong. Paid like $150 worth every penny, but there's a newer model that's more comfortable and better. And, it'd just be nice to upgrade. Okay, I like that. That actually sounds really, really nice. Very, very nice. Okay, so let us use that right there. Okay, so we'll start recording it right here. So you notice how I had those little breaks in there. Keep in mind, you are, label you flute really quickly. You're playing a flute, and a flute is a wind instrument, and wind instruments need to breathe. So to write a more realistic part, you do need to think about where would my player breathe in this music. So if I was recording that as a piano or as a string instrument, I wouldn't have put those breaks in. But considering who the player is, you'll want those little breaks in there. In fact, there's one part back here. I think I need to go ahead and add one. Yeah, right here. I think I'm going to add a little tiny little break right here. Maybe not quite that long. Just get a quick breath. Yeah, there we go. That wasn't bad. That wasn't too bad right there. Okay, I like that. Alrighty. The question is, where do we want to go from here? So do I want to actually go into the... Let's hold on just a minute. Let's take a listen to the original here. That bass line. I just want to hear that bass line that they use. So he's using a... Is that what he's using? Am I hearing that right? Okay. So we're going to, again, take it back up to the A. So we could play that in with the piano, or could use strings. Okay. Let's try it with the piano really quickly. What program do I use and how much does it cost? So I use Logic Pro 10 or Pro X. I never did really understand what I'm supposed to call it. It is a Mac-specific program made by Apple. Costs $200. If you are on Windows, there are tons of potential DAWs or digital audio workstations that you can use. FL Studio is one. A very popular one is Adobe. I almost said Premiere, but that's video. Adobe Audition. I think it's Audition. And I think Apogee has one. I can't remember. Reaper is another popular one. Industry standard is Pro Tools. If you want to get serious into music creation, Pro Tools on Windows, Pro Tools is potentially one of the pieces of software you want to look at. Keep in mind, a lot of these professional softwares. FL Studio is more on the hobbyist side, so price-wise, that might be a good place for you to start. The music library that I use comes from East West Quantum Leap. It's their Composer Cloud. It's a subscription for $20 a month. You get, I'd say, close to a terabyte of music samples or of instrument samples, and it's a lot of instruments. It's thousands and thousands of dollars worth of instruments for $20 a month. So it's a great deal. That might have gone up, but I'm locked into a $20 deal. What should I start with just to see if this is what I want to do and not to spend a ton of money? You know what, Deku? That's a really good question. Look into FL Studio. Send me a message on Discord, and I'll get back to you with a few links. I'm happy to help you out if you want to experiment with music, because it's a very worthwhile pursuit. It really is. Okay, let us see. I don't know if I want to do that. Let me listen to this again. I think I'm going to go strings here. I'm thinking strings. I don't do any of this synthesizing stuff. I have a few instruments in my room I play fairly often: a harmonica, an ocarina, a guitar. I used to have a clarinet, but I sold it to a friend a while back since I felt it was a pain to maintain. Yeah, woodwind instruments can be, especially when you're having to deal with reeds and such. That's cool. So, yeah, you know what? What you call this synthesizing stuff, it's a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun because there are a ton of things that you can do digitally with digital music creation. If you have, your own instruments and you want to experiment with making things, that's great too. You should, get a microphone or even just experiment on your phone. There are actually DAWs that you can get on the phone, and just start tracking things. Maybe come up with something. Let's see what you see. Maybe come up with something on your ocarina. So, come up with a melody on your ocarina and record it, and then get your guitar out and figure out a good accompaniment that you can go with that, and then record that over the ocarina. So many opportunities, or so many options, I should say, of ways that you can use what you have to create music. And Dick, you have a piano. Can you play? Can you play piano? If you cannot, I would encourage you to. There's plenty of resources online that'll get you started. So piano is so much fun to play. I took lessons when I was I want to say 8th grade. I didn't last very long. But I did take piano lessons, and I took some piano proficiency courses in college, and so I know my way enough around the keyboard that I can play. But you put a piece of sheet music in front of me, I will stumble all through it. I play more by ear than I do by sight reading. My sight reading is atrocious, but I can sit down in front of a piano and just. Well, that wasn't good. That wasn't good. That was a terrible example. So yeah, I can sit down and just kind of figure things out and play like that and just make stuff up off the cuff. That's what I do mostly on the piano. Honestly, that depends entirely upon what you play on each. Good point. Does an acoustic guitar and a grand piano sound good together? What about an electric guitar? There are 3 instruments. If you listen to music, there are 3 instruments that are present in almost every single genre of music, and that is the piano, the guitar, and the violin. You take any genre, even rock, rap, disco, man. I don't know. Maybe you could say the electronic dance music, EDM. That might be pushing it, but there again, the instruments that are used in EDM have their basis in those 3 instruments. They're everywhere, and so yes, an electric guitar, piano, acoustic guitar, piano, they absolutely do sound good together. And I would even go so far as to say, don't let what you think might sound bad together limit you. Experimental music is a huge genre, and messing around with things, just seeing how they mix, these are how new sounds are created. So definitely experiment with things like that. Symphonic metal is a favorite of mine. Oh, yes, Moz. I do enjoy some of that. I enjoy blending elements of classical and rock, and in fact that is what Uematsu was all about. You look at Final Fantasy VIII, Final Fantasy IX, and 7. I mean, especially when you look at Final Fantasy IX, a lot of that battle track, there are so many prog rock elements in that music, but blended with classical elements. It's Uematsu was a master at doing that, and I believe it's one of the things that defined video game music as it is today, because it's kind of a thing that you have a more classical background, especially in RPGs. You'll have a your typical classical orchestra, but then when the battle starts, out comes the guitars. That's because of Uematsu. And it's what makes his work so brilliant. I'm getting into some pop, and whatever set it off does, I'm not entirely sure, but I do like it. Yeah, just experiment and keep listening to new stuff. Okay, I am wanting to go ahead and move into strings here, so let's bring in. Let's bring in a cello. We're going to keep it short. I'm going to try and do that that bass line that Uematsu wrote. Let's do that with, let's see, Hollywood Strings Gold. Cello short. Let's go with that one right there. that exact? Let's listen to what. Let's listen to the original one more time. Refresh us on that bass line there. Okay, so yeah, it's. What does he do when he gets to that point? Let's listen to that. Okay, so he keeps up. Okay, that cello is a little loud. Let's bring it down a little bit. Okay, let's see how this sounds. Let's slow it down a bit. Let's actually get the right notes here. Okay. It was a little messy, but we can quantize that. So let us quantize that to the... No, that is definitely not what we want. Let's try that. That should do it. Okay, so these two, those were eighth notes. Or were they 16th notes? 16th notes. Okay, so every time we see those, we need to change those to 16th. And actually, let's just... Whoa! Not what we wanted. Okay, hold on. Get there. I think I hit the wrong button when I did that. Not sure what happened there. We'll have to listen to that. Okay, so switch that to 16th note. Oh yeah, okay, I'm gonna have to do some editing here because that's butchered. Sometimes quantizing doesn't always fix everything exactly right. Little nudges here and there. Dun, dun. Okay, let's split you. I think that whole thing needs to come over here. Let's try that. Let's put... I just need to write one in, so we'll put a note right there. Is that... That doesn't seem right there. Okay, it's this part right here that needs to come over here. Kind of fell apart there at the end, didn't it? It's okay. That's why we have these editing tools. Oh, that's right. Okay, that's the 8th notes, or the 16th notes. Done. Oh, no, wait. Oh, wait. That's over here. And then, yeah, I was rushing it there at the end. I was definitely rushing. Okay. All right, let's listen to that, see if that fixed everything. What was that? What was that? There was a little, teeny tiny little noise there. You know a guy who pronounces it cello? No. Definitely cello. I think it's because the velocity is so loud on that. Let's take the velocity down on that one. Am I right on that? Yeah, I think. I don't know. I'm not sure I'm getting that rhythm right there at the very end. Yeah, that's right. Da, da, da. Okay, yeah. So it is that 16th notes. Okay. Whoa, 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 whoa. I see where. Let's go over here. Maybe over here. Okay. So now let us take, now we've got that, let's listen to it through one more time just to make sure we caught all of the mistakes. Okay, we are now, that sounds good. Okay, so we are going to make this a bass. Basses, short, the marcato right here. I will alt-click this, which will copy it down. And we shall then take everything under it. Okay, move that down there. We shall then bring in some violas. And we shall do the same thing. Violas, short, tight, marcatos right there. Drag it up. Select all and move them up an octave. Then, with this nice little driving. Don't know if I like that. Let's mess with the mix a little bit here. Okay, let us now bring in some violins. Hey, Bumbler, how you doing? Let's see what you got. He's really getting into his stuff, so he might not notice you for a while. Jello just makes me hungry for Jello. You're the same way when you work. Yep, there is a dedication to the craft and a focus that I can. Oh, thank you. This song sounds kind of close to the Imperial March with the bass line. That kind of is. That kind of is similar to the Imperial March a little bit, isn't it? But we're going to cover that bass line up just a little bit with some strings here. Or rather, some violins. You know, the bass line is the strings, but let's see how we want to do these violins. Come over into here. Gonna need to turn those up just a bit. They're a little on the low side. Okay. Do I want to do that, or do I want to go? Doesn't it go to the... Hold on just a minute. Hold on, let me go back to the piano. I always like to have a piano on hand just because it's easier to think at the piano sometimes than it is other instruments. So... Okay, so I can go that. So I was right, it does go up to that 5 chord. So the question remains, stop. So we can do that, or we can go that. Let's try that with each one and see what do we like better. kind of like that, Let's bring it up just a little bit more. These violins need to be heard a little bit more. So, you got the same headphones? Hey, they're great headphones. These are best headphones I've ever used. By far the best bang for your buck. Although you might have the newer model. I have the older model. I got these about 8 years ago. I want to trade them in for some of the new ones because the new ones are way, way more comfortable. After a couple hours, these start to hurt my ears a little bit. But I mean, these are far better than Beats or anything else out there. If you want good headphones, look for good professional mixing headphones. Bass heads won't like it, but I've never been much of a bass guy. So, but yeah, I love them. They're one of the best buys I've ever made. They're fantastic. They're great. I use them for the counterpart to what you do, which is film sound. Exactly. I did get into sound design for a little bit. I did some sound effects for a game, I want to say 2 or 3 years ago. It was fun, but not something I really want to get into. I prefer to stay on the musical side of things. Hey, Tag, how come your headphones don't break after a few months? Because I take good care of them. I take really good care of my headphones. When I pay $150 for a pair of headphones, you better believe I'm going to make them last at least 10 years. Okay. So yeah, let's go. I like this one right here. And then we're going to go up to the C. And then the F. Okay, that ought to work. Exactly, Bumper. Treat him like a baby. Speaking of baby, I got my stink baby last night. Maz was very quick to point out. I think I prefer the actual vengeful spirit. I think that's what the attack's called, over the stink baby. But it is kind of oddly satisfying to see this weird little worm go out from you. Okay. All right. Let's add these strings in. Yeah, let's try that again. The strings stop? They shouldn't have stopped. I don't know why they stopped there. I like that. I like that right there. That sounds good. Okay, let's listen to that from the very beginning. Comes in just a little heavy there. a little heavy for my liking because we're being so soft and gentle right here for the beginning. I feel like this transition into the orchestra. I also feel like the flute's a little alone there. I feel like we need to help it out. It needs something else. Maybe a clarinet in the background just a little bit. Let's see what we can do. Let's see, woodwinds, clarinet. Let's try that. Okay. That's really scraping bottom there, but it still works. May not sound good, but you never know till you try. I'll bring you down here. Oh. There we go. Let's go ahead and bring you down. There we go. Oh. Snuck up on me there. Okay. I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling that, but you know what? There's one thing I do want to try because this is a bit of a low flute. Let's add a piccolo. Let's go the other direction. Let's see what that does. It's a delicate song, dainty like a doily. Okay. Gotta be careful with piccolos. They can get really high pitched. Oh, that does it right there. That adds a lot to that. What happens if we take this clarinet and turn it into an oboe? What do you think? Either that or we just get rid of it altogether. Or we add a bass flute. Ooh. Hold on one moment. I like it. Oh, yes. Yes, I do. I like that. Putting that bass flute in there, that definitely made a big difference. By Jove, I think you've committed to music. So Bumbler, how are you dealing with the very extended spring break? What are you doing to keep yourself sane, or are you actually teaching online? Are you your university doing that online teaching? And if so, I'm curious how are you approaching that? How are you approaching teaching your classes online? Okay. I think, I think we need? I think we need a different reverb. This reverb is just a little too, maybe a little too. Oh, I don't know. Hold on. Let's play with this really quickly. 'Cause in particular, I think I need more reverb in this bass line. That reverb definitely helps. Okay. Sounds like the bass flute's doing. First of all, let's go ahead and change this to bass flute. I love having this flute trio here. It's just really cool. But it feels doing something weird. Yeah, let's just bring that bass flute back just a bit. In fact, you know what? Let's also bring up the reverb on that bass flute. Bring it back on the piccolo and the main flute, which will set it back farther in the orchestra. That sounds better. Naps, lots of naps. I already ran my classes like a hybrid by posting things online. So to be honest, my class hasn't been delayed. I've just started recording lectures and posting them online. I have a Discord as well for my students so I can chat with them. Oh, that's pretty cool. That's really cool. Okay, so you're already set. You're already doing well. Okay. You know what? The reverb for this needs to go down, 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 down. There we go. That just hits so hard. You know what? I think I need to take the viola out of that first part. All stages of production from pre-production to post. That really is so cool. You have a dream job, my friend. You have a dream job. Okay. How's we? Okay, couple things I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna move the viola up so that it's more with the violins. And I am also going to take these two here and we are going to lighten the velocity so that it is just a little bit lighter. That already that right there makes it so much better. Hey Destroya, how you doing? Zoo's only letting essential staff come into work, and I still nearly miss a Wednesday afternoon stream. Hey, well, it's good to have you here anyway. All right, yeah, I'm really liking that one little adjustment. But you know what? Let's take it a step further, and let's bring it down there. But yeah, let's take these. Whoa! Did not mean to do that. Let's take the velocity down really low on that opening line right there. That eases it in nicely. And you know what? I do not need the viola there. I do not need the viola for that bass line. So let's actually delete that right there. Let's change the viola to match what the violins are doing. Somewhat long. So this one right there. Okay, let's look here. We want to bring it up to be pretty similar to the... Okay, so... So the violins are here. Ooh, I like that. Keeping that nice major triad there. Uh-huh. Okay. Then it goes to F. And then D. Okay, I think this will be really easy. It's going to stay on E a lot. And it's going to shift. Let's see if I can do this. Let's just do this to record it. What was the... Hold on. That sounds good. Okay, so let's... Okay, and with the whole thing, let's see how that sounds. You know, the more I listen to it, the more I do not like that bass flute. Let's just take it out and just have flute and piccolo. Now, what about adding a piano to this? I feel like it's still missing a little something. I mean, I could do a... that is not the piano. That's a little low. Just to give it a little bit of a something, you know? Maybe. Let's see how it sounds. I really like that. I think it adds, you know, just having that little bit of piano in there definitely adds to it. Let's see what chat's saying here. Arzu is doing the same thing, but they did a publicity thing and are letting the penguins roam and explode. I saw that, Rogues. I saw video of that on YouTube. It's awesome. The penguins look like they were having a ton of fun. Um, okay, seeing the photos, she doesn't. Okay, I see. Wish we had. Oh, I know. Penguins are so awesome. I'm getting to that Deku. I'm getting to drums. I'm feeling like we definitely do need drums in this. So we're getting to the drums. Okay. Check that a little bit. Okay. Alrighty, let us get to drums. Or no, let's get this. Okay, let's try this. Okay. Yeah, I like that. Adding that piano definitely gives it that little sheen that was missing. Okay, let's add some drums. Let's add some drums to this because it's definitely a very we gotta get that snare. So let's throw a snare in there. Let's see, Hollywood orchestral percussion, drums. So many snares to choose from. Let's just pick one and see where it goes. Do not like that one. Don't like that one either. That's too. That one's not too bad. Try that. Used to have a March of the Tortoises each year as the tortoises walked out to their outdoor habitat. Nowadays they have a winter habitat connected to it, so this event has stopped. We did let our Burmese python roam a little bit last year, though, with supervision, of course. Beatrice is very docile, mild-mannered snakes, so she wasn't going to run off anywhere. Oh, that's nice. Okay. Let's see how well we can make this work, and might turn it down just a bit. You know what? That was the wrong rhythm. Because it goes. Yeah, I had that completely wrong. Let's try it again. Let's add a bass drum to that. Just need a simple little bass drum there. Also quantize this just to make sure. Well, I don't know. I think it sounds okay. I don't think we need to quantize it. I think it's pretty good. You know what, though? Let's open this up. One snare is not enough. Let's guess we got. What if we add a few more? And let's add that field drum just to give it some variety. Now we have 4 snare drums playing. Nice and subtle there in the background. Deku, I do not have my music on Spotify. I actually don't have many songs that I've done just for myself. The main one being the Link's Awakening song. The Windfish, the Ballad of the Windfish. That's the only other cover I've done. All the other work I've done has been connected to other video games and have their own releases. Although, actually, you know what? I may be wrong in that. You know, I may have one album on Spotify. I don't know if it's on Spotify or not. But we can find out. Let's find out. Let's find out together. It's not going to let me. Do I even have a Spotify account? I don't even know if I have a Spotify account. Oh, apparently I do have a Spotify account. Yeah, you know what? Let's continue with Facebook. Sure. Okay. Okay. I do have a Spotify account. Okay. Let's see. I just want to. Just let me search. web player. Surprised it doesn't support web player. This is turning out to be a bigger hassle than I bargained for. I don't know if my music's on Spotify. It might be. Search The Great Gaius. Go and search The Great Gaius and see if that soundtrack is on there. It might be. It might not be. I don't know. Okay. What's I going to do next? That is always the big question, isn't it? Okay, so next you have okay. That is where we're at right there. So let us record that. No, I kind of messed that up there. Let's... I totally screwed that last part up, but I can fix it. Okay. There we go. You can always fix something. There we go. Fix it in post, right, Bumbler? Okay. At least you can do that with digital audio creation. When you're talking about analog, fix it in post is not a good way to go. Yep, exactly. Okay. Alrighty, let us see. You know, I bet I could. I can't. I shouldn't have to re-record all this. I should be able to actually splice it up. Let's just bring you over here right now. Actually, let's bring you over here. Operate on you over here. Okay, so it's right here. Can I do it there? Yes, I can. Okay. Okay, that's going to work. So we'll just there. Cut you Nothing going to interfere. Nothing's going to interfere with that cut, so we shall cut you. Something is going to interfere. What is in the... Oh, right there. Okay. I'm sure there's an easier way to do that, but I'm such a perfectionist. I want to make sure nothing's in the way and I can get a clean cut. Oh, what else is in the way? Oh, it's right there. It's the bass drum. There we go. Okay, let's get... So everything here can be cut away. And yeah, we're going to have to split those, but that's fine. Split. Okay, there we go. This is going to get interesting right here. Over here. Okay. I don't know if this is actually going to work. But we're going to find out. What is stopping me from... Where is this? Don't see anything going over. Yeah, that's going over. There we go, okay. Move you guys over here. We shall copy you over there. Okay, so we shall join these. Okay, that worked out well. Where's the joining point here? Let's make sure we... Okay, and that should all be good, 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 good. Can't believe this is actually working out as well as it is. Just mixing it around. And then I don't have to re-record every single thing. Okay, it's not quite there yet. And there was something weird going on with the violins. I can't quite figure out what happened with that. Something odd was going on there. What are you doing? Yeah, it should be able to stay. Yeah, it should stay the same. So why does it sound so off? I have a feeling I know what's wrong. Hold on. I think there's a foot pedal being pressed and not released, and that's what's causing something to happen. So let me go into notation here and see if I've... That's exactly what's going on. Okay. Well, that solved that issue. You two. Okay, I should be able to make the break there. What is... You know what? I'm just going to... No, just in case. Yeah, that would have been bad, because I would have had an extra drum beat there. Okay, what's still doing it? Yeah, I'm just going to delete all that stuff. Now I should be able to make a clean break. Yep. Delete you guys. Take you. Bring you up. Listen to it. Okay, that actually works. Let's do that. Join you guys together. Get rid of you guys and move you over here. I'm gonna want to change something when we go into that new section though, because I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to add an oboe with a counter melody. Uematsu did that. Uematsu added a counter melody there. He did. I remember something there. Okay, first of all, let's track our